fans, welcome to another edition of Gotcha Racing Live, Gotcha Racing TV with your host, Joe Britt. You know, we're starting something new here at Gotcha Racing TV, and I have two brands that I've just started, okay? Now, you guys are familiar with me running my mouth at different tracks and whatnot at Gotcha Racing Live, which is a radio. We're with NBC on 3 different stations. And then, you know, you see me on cable with Gotcha Racing TV, right? So, right now, I'm coming to you, my Facebook fans, with Gotcha Racing TV. Now listen, there's a brand that we're starting, two of them. One's called Speed Legends. Okay, we bought the name, and that's ours. The other one is called Hidden Garages. Now, you said, what's the difference between the two? Well, on Speed Legends, there's guys that are working in their garages, in their homes, and in their shops that never get attention. And they look like me. And they probably look like you. You know what I mean? But never get attention. So, I know about this. Heck, I'm one of them. I built a car called the Stallion GT1. Never got full attention, but tell you what, I am reaching out to the community. We're going to start with the LA community, go with Southern California, and my correspondent that is in Atlanta, he's next. From there, we'll go across the country to different garages and pick out the best cars and the guys who are working in their garages, putting out some fantastic work. So that would be under Hidden Garages. Now, for Hidden Legends, these are, it's almost the same, but it's talking about the guys who have been racing. You know, the guys that have been kicking butt, but have never been in the limelight. So we're doing two things here, all right? So today, right now, we're gonna do, we're in a secret garage. You see the background, all the cars in the background and whatnot. This is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna go to different shops, and we're gonna do a live broadcast from the different shops, okay? And so, hello, Karen Henderson. So I tell you, it's just gonna be fantastic, and you're gonna like this. Now, so we're in this hidden garage somewhere in Southern California. It's like a diamond in the rough. You would never know in your lifetime that this is here, but the guy's putting out some fantastic work. I'm telling you, fantastic work, and that's what geared me toward this. Lo and behold, this guy here has a story, and you know, it goes way back. Now, a lot of you guys know that I built the Stallion GT1 by hand. Fiberglass body, chassis, welding, and when I first debuted the car back in 2001, I sent out a PR package. I sent it to some companies, and I got about 5 bites. One of the bites was for a movie called Redline. Okay, now that movie, that headliner Redline, is called Fast and Furious. Well, my car was too exotic looking for them. It's based on European concept. A little Porsche, a little Mercedes, a little Ferrari, Maserati, all that tied into what I developed in my mind, and I put it on paper, and I developed the car. Okay. So they said, you know what, your car is fantastic, but, you know, they wanted muscle cars. Okay, I said, cool. Okay, I'm fine with that. So they sent me tickets to the debut. I saw the first shot of Redline at Norton Air Force Base. People thought it was in the desert, but no, it was at the base. So I got in. They gave me T-shirts. They treated me royally. Okay, you would never know who I got here. You would never go. So I'm gonna let this guy introduce himself to you and give you the story about this. It's gonna blow your mind. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Good, Joe. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Let me adjust my chair here.
Yeah.
I'm good, man.
Good to see you.
Ray, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Tell me the story, brother. Tell me the story. I mean, these guys here have to hear it. It's fascinating, and you have the paperwork to back it up. So,
That's correct.
I'm gonna get closer to you. Uh-oh. Okay. Tell me your story, man.
I'm Ray Anthony Williams, and you know, I'm originally from Little Rock, Arkansas. You know, my parents, they dated back in the '60s. They were street racers. We had a family-owned 6-station Bill SS Malibu. Fast forward, my brothers and I, Dad taught us down the mechanics trade, 8, 19 years old. And as we got older, my brothers and I started building our own cars, you know, neighborhood tune-ups, you know, things like that. Then we started racing. And it hit me one day, hey, you know, this genre of action film, if never been done before. So let me do a film about our family history, family and friends, and you think it was like an old school Western, the way they would challenge and battle each other. So long story short, I was at the street race and my brother Beanie, he had a Datsun 510. I'm standing on the car and someone came and, said something, and he challenged everyone in the parking lot. And I'm like, wow, man, this is just like our parents used to do. Right away, I said, hey, you know what? Let me write a film about it. So immediately the next morning, I went to my mom. She found me sitting on the front porch. What's something wrong, Mom? I got an idea, but I'm not sure. I don't know I don't know where to start to write this project. She said, make sure you got a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I said, okay. She said, look, I'm a screenwriter. I'll help. Just let me know, give me a holler if you need me. So I began, doing my work, writing. And long story short, my work was, originally I called it Break Them Off Something Proper. Then I decided to call it Bet, as in bet money. And so fast forward, I started shopping it around. I'm a manager, I'm an actor. It's hard to get work as a minority, African American. So I said, hey, let me write my own work. Better yet, I won't worry about acting. I'll go ahead and write my own material, and I'll start my own film project. So sure enough, my manager sent it out. He sent a copy over to the university, my script Bet. Then I purposely took the job as a messenger courier to give me access to the studio. So I'm thinking, well, I'm copyrighted, so I don't have to worry about nobody stealing my material. So I'd go deliver my, my work, do whatever my assignment was, but then I'd ask, hey, where do you deliver scripts? Go here, go there. I'd drop it off, hoping to get a call or either, something in the mail, as a response. And all of a sudden, lo and behold, I'm on the 101 freeway and the 405, and I hear Vin Diesel reciting my dialogue on the radio.
Wait. Vin Diesel, the actor that has come up big time. Word for word?
Word for word, verbatim. And I'm like, wait a minute, because at first it was on the radio. I would hear the promo, how they advertise, they do the advertisement for the films that are coming out. So this weekend is the big day, da-da-da-da, here's this film, da-da-da, so on and so forth. And I'm like, I spent a couple hours trying to hear the whole, promo, the entire promo. Finally, I got it. And again, it was Vin Diesel, word for word, verbatim. And there was a line, the catchphrase, 10 seconds or less, I free my mind in a quarter mile. I'm like, what? I'm like, something that don't make no sense. And that's what some of these writers do. I mean, they try to steal your work, but then they try to capture the bits and pieces, you know what I mean? But there was no substance. But however, I remember that catchphrase, I caught that. So I went to the theater that weekend, lo and behold, it was my film. I'm like, wow, right away, I said, hey, somebody got it.
Now, this was, what year was that taking place in?
I believe that came out in 2000, 2001, something like that.
Okay.
But of course my work, and again, I have the paperwork right here, my documentation right here. I came out of high school in '82, and I started, taking notes regarding my, writing and things like that. And then I started seeing on the news, a good friend of mine, Tony McEwen, the brother from Fox 11 News, he would call me, Ray, we got a big story, because there would be an accident, something happened at the street races. And so I was beginning to see more and more things happening. Like, man, I need to hurry up and get this out before somebody bite my work. And this genre of action film had never been done before. So I knew I was sitting on the gold mine. So sure enough, as I began, to write, create, and get it out there, I'm thinking, hey, I know somebody's going to call me. I never got that call. What I did get was the promo on the radio, and Vin Diesel reciting my dialogue.
So you were a kid at the time, right? Fresh out of high school, right? Not knowing how Hollywood truly worked. Copyrighted your material, took a chance in turning in the manuscript. They took it, turned it into a movie, thinking, well, you're a guy from LA, you're a youngster, you don't know crap from Shinola, and took it and ran with it. Well, and it was verbatim too. That's what right now, that doesn't work that way. Right now, it doesn't work. But back then, they probably thought they could get away with it. So, after you heard the promo, what did you do?
After I heard the promo, immediately I began my comparison. I was doing comparison. I was able to get a bootleg copy of the film, and caught a guy. "You got the Fast and the Furious?" He was like, "Yeah, I do. That'd be $10, $15, whatever it was. It's no problem." I'm like, "Well, how'd you get this?" And he just started laughing, you know. I said, "Don't worry about it." I said, "It's my work." I said, "It's cool. It's 40 minutes for work." I said, "No, it's stolen from me." No problem. I said, no, you good. I said, "But I need it because I want to do a comparison of this." And so what I did, it took me about a week, couple weeks, and I went through it. What I would do, I played the film, play the DVD from the beginning of the film. I press play, I hear something or I see something. So not only dialogue verbatim, but even from a directorial aspect. So the director, I mean, they're getting credit for my directorial aspect of it. For example, you and I speaking right now for 12-legged dog ran by underneath this blue Impala with 18 tails sticking out. That's exactly what happened. So I'm like, man, they got me. There's no way they can dispute that. So again, went through the film, even up to what, Fast 5, Fast 6, Fast 7, something like that. I've done a comparison on these films. And as a matter of fact, just give you an idea what topic it was.
This is actually interesting, man. Because I was kind of close to it with my particular car, and to hear you saying this, man, and all the paperwork you have there, dude, did you get a lawyer for this?
I did get a lawyer. Okay. I did get an attorney at the time, a gentleman, and long story short, let me just tell you, when it was these comparison lists, what I'm about to show you, when I walked into the office, of course the attorney tried to downplay me, and I was greatly insulted. Because when she started off, I'm going to ask you some questions. Don't respond to me with yeah, no, and But if I don't know how to speak, I mean, I'm a brother from the streets and things like that. But I'm also a professional being as well. I mean, I know when to get up and be about my business, So anyway, I let her do a little spiel, and when she finished that, I simply told her, what I really want to do, put me on the stand, in front of the jury, people, the 12 men and women. I said, ask me whatever you want to ask me. I mean, straight up, respectfully, I told her, look, I'll embarrass your ass. I said, I'm not here to try to get a little hustle, a couple of dollars here and there, just give me my just due. I said, as a matter of fact, here. And so I began to go through my comparison list. This right here, show you all. This is entitled Racer X. Racer X was what it was called before the Fast and Furious. So they went from Racer X, and you notice here it says Gary Scott Thompson.
I see that, yeah.
Yeah, he received the screenplay credit. Gary Scott Thompson. And let me just show this one again. I'm going to show you something here. Now, as I go through this, Joe, you're going to see yourself. You see where you see some check marks there?
Who put that confidential with the number on the bottom of it?
This is their work. At my deposition, they had to give this over to me. And so you can see from the very beginning, this is, from the script, this is my script bet comparison to Gary Scott Thompson's Racer X. This is the original draft. All he did was took my name off and put his name on the cover page. Again, this is Gary Scott Thompson. You see him coming, run, Forrest, run. Get away from him. He will steal your work as well. Back to this short hand. As you can see, I have check marks here. Where there are check marks, and notice at the end of this sentence where I have a check mark, it says side mirror, object mirror, and vanish into the darkness. And in the matter of seconds. Well, in my dialogue right there, I don't have my line, but right there is where the same dialogue where the same dialogue in action takes place. It says page 7, line 28, 20 through 29. So that's a draft that I created. So on this screenplay right here, where everything is here, I matched it up, and that page number will show you where the same dialogue action verbatim is found in my material. So as you can see, it goes on. This is a nice little thick list as well. Basically, this is his script of what his original script is.
Okay,
right here.
hold on a minute.
Go ahead.
All right. Okay. Go ahead.
And so anyway, as as you go on, you can see that there's multiple. I mean, all through the script, you see the comparison list and the dialogue, things like that. So, and you made a point where you spoke of red line. So before, after they went from Racer X, then to begin to call it Red Line. And then from Red Line, they finally settled on Fast and the Furious.
you got a lot of history here, man.
Oh, absolutely.
You've been hanging tough and fighting this battle for a long time. You know what this reminds me of?
What's that?
There was a black woman, okay? She did The Matrix, and also she did the Terminator. She wrote the manuscript for that. She turned it into Hollywood, and they turned her down, but guess what? It was verbatim. It came out verbatim. She sued them, and it took about 10, 15 years, and they awarded her millions of dollars, but I think she's still fighting it in court.
Good friend of mine, Sophia Stewart, out of USC. She's a paralegal. And so she understood the game very well. You know, she would get a shop her material, got it out there and things like that. And every now and then we still, you know, we keep in touch and whatnot. And not only us, but there's another lady out there, Pamela Morris. You know, she's also a screenwriter. And there's an issue that came up. What is that? It was a film that came out. It'll come to me later. But same thing with her, you know, Pamela Morris. So we have African American screenwriters who we're out here, and our work is being stolen. And we're providing proof, like we were speaking of comparison. Same thing with Sophia Stewart. She had a comparison. Her comparison is she was able to show, you know, we're not just talking about it, we're proving, showing. I'll give an example here where it says my comparison is, this is Fast and Furious 1 and 2. You see this. I'm going to go ahead and flip the page right here, just to give you an idea. So you see this for yourself.
Line by line?
Line by line. You know, and you see the numbers there to the far left. The numbers represent the time. So let's say there's a specific scene and you want to find that scene, like, okay, wait a minute, there's no way both two people who never met are, you know, going to write the same exact thing or direct the same scene. So as a matter of fact, we just turn it toward the camera so the world can see. This is my comparison list right here. This is it. This is it. So it was by way of these comparison lists, when University's counsel, when she saw this, immediately she called for a break. Here's Too Fast, Too Furious, same thing. Look at the many comparisons. I'm showing it. You know, back then we didn't have the social media like we do today. So of course, you know, right now there's this whole big thing about people's work being stolen. TikTok, dances, you know, their moves are being, you know, stolen. You know, so they went on strike. You know, the African Americans on TikTok went on strike. Same thing here. We are getting sick and tired of having our work stolen. I mean, this is it. I mean, I have the proof documentation, and you know, but it was when I presented my proof documentation of comparison list. I kid you not. She called for a break. They just had to go outside. Then my attorney came out and approached me. Ray, right now they need to do $500,000. The $500,000, yeah, for your work. Okay, that's fine. But what about my royalties, my residuals? I just want my due credit. No. Take the $500,000. Walk away. They never hear from you again. They call it a backdoor deal. I said, no, we're not doing that. Okay, no problem. We go back inside. The numbers went up. 5 mil. $5 million. I'm like, this is the same principle. We do this all day in and day out. Just give me my dues. Well, Ray, we were only giving you $30,000 first time writer. Like, you know, $30,000 first time writer. Then how you gonna steal from me? Then on top of that, tell me what you're gonna do. The numbers went up, and they said, what about they said, well, what do you think is your total loss? What's your total gain?
Wait, keep talking.
That's pretty much it, you know. And so it's hard, you know. But you was asking me about my counsel. All of a sudden, sometime later, I got a phone call from a counsel. Ray, hey, I got to look out for my best interest. That's it. That's all. Come first thing in the morning, pick up your documents. I'm done. Just like that. Mind you, had a court date coming up. This left me hanging. I don't know anything about law, but however, I know that I can prove this is my work. So it's like a good old domino game. You know, you got to be careful who's holding the pencil because they may pencil with you, and that's exactly what happened in that case. But now we have people like yourself, Joe. People that are reaching out. People that just want things to be right. You know what I mean? And you're in a position where you can reach out and help the next man. You know, next man or woman. And so I greatly appreciate it. You know what I mean? Because that's my whole thing. I just want the story to get out. I'm the real deal. I welcome to speak with any and everyone. And you're the first to really assist, to step out and want to hear the story. GMT, they came out, they doing something. But I don't want to just, you know, keep simmering. It needs to stay afloat. You know, I need to keep this boat afloat.
Well,
So
you know what,
you.
dude, this is what we do. We find the diamond in the rough. And we
Absolutely.
find, I'm like an old bloodhound.
Wow.
I'll search out and find something. But in this instance, the story came to me.
Yeah.
And now that I see the documentation and I see that you're legit, in the racing community also they know you. So
Absolutely.
you know what? I'm gonna give you your just due, man. I will do whatever it is to help you go along with this process. Like you've been holding tight for a long time, and I'm surprised you haven't blown your lid yet. You know?
Woo! I kid you not. I mean, I've gone there. I have people that have been right there, rating what you want to do. But you try to go about it the right way, because I mean, think about it. For someone to do that type of thing, their daughters, their sons, school being the best of school, family living well, so on and so forth. But then you gonna take from me? I mean, man, that reminds me of, I'm gonna go, biblical on you. The scripture, Daniel's, the lion's den. You know what I mean? The book of Daniel. Those who conspired against Daniel, the king told him, man, I believe in you. I mean, because they got a king caught up in his word, and they was like, I got under my word, but then I know your God will deliver you from the lions. Sure enough, he ran down first thing in the morning to check on him. Sure enough, Daniel was alive and well. And when he walked up, Daniel ran with the lions. He's playing with the lions. You know what I mean? But however, those who conspired against him, they were thrown into the lion's den. Not only them, but their family members, cousin, whoever it was, that whole bloodline was thrown into the lion's den, so that would never be happening again. Well, it's the same thing here. I mean, trust me, it's not easy dealing with this thing, but I wish they were thrown into the lion's den. You know what I mean? You don't do people like that. I mean, you living high with the hog, you living well, so on and so forth. Off my hard-earned work, my blood, sweat, and tears, and you don't give a doggone. I mean, are you that callous, that dirty?
No, well,
man, come on with that, man.
Look at it this way, man. It has happened over and over and over and over again. All the artists that came up with music,
absolutely, the
majority of that stuff was stolen. 85%. Now listen to this, folks. 85% of everything we use on a daily basis, from the light bulb to the street lights on a daily basis, were invented by black folks. Okay, 85%. So you're going, my God, well, they didn't get paid. A lot didn't get paid because a lot of the patents were stolen or just taken. So there's a lot of history involved in what you're saying, man. Absolutely. And we have to stand the line. And we have to stand in our stand and stand strong. Now, on my end, when I created the Stallion GT1, I had a lot of, I put 3 water radiators on it. I did a lot.
Wow.
That's 20 years ago. I developed this rascal, right? Guy in Santa Ana called me and he says, well, I saw the car, it was on the internet, I like it, I like the reviews, it's been written up in different magazines all over the world, come in. I'm thinking, my gut, I got a partner, somebody's going to put some cash. He says, I'll give you $600,000. I'm going, whoopee, good. But he says, that's all. 600 grand is what you get. I want the car, I want your patent, I want everything on the car itself. I'm going, well, hold on a minute.
Absolutely.
Now, my ancestors, they would have done that because they were hungry and they were starving.
Absolutely.
But in today's time, and mind you, folks, just 20 years ago, and I was a youngster, I said, so you don't want to be a part? He said, no. You put all your money in this project already, and I tell you what, you don't have any more money, and I know you don't. I said, well, maybe so, but I'm not going to give it to you.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to give it to you. He said, well, the check is right here. I said, well, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you offering me this, but I tell you what, I'm not my ancestors, man. And what I'd like is a party. I don't want to be partners with you. And I said, you know what, I'll sell 1 car a year before I give all this technology to you. Because what would happen is this. Here's the scenario. Let's say I sold him the car for 600 grand with all the modifications that I designed in my head, the advanced water cooling system that I designed for it. He would in turn give me the $600,000, right? And then he said he wanted me to work for him for 2 years.
Wow. Right?
So that's like cutting me and putting salt in the cut. So I said, no, I'm good. But what would happen is he would have had an outside investor, maybe from overseas, to give him $10 million for the project.
Wow.
I got my $600,000. He gets $10 million or more, and it's done. I see my car out there floating around, and so I said, no. And the people that are not in the business would have said, and they've said me, and they said, Joe, you should have taken the deal, man.
All the time.
You should have taken the deal.
Yeah.
I said, no, $600,000 for a car and all this technology, I would not do it. I'll hold on to the car. So professionally, I told him, thank you very much for the offer, but I'll keep the car, and I still have it. So you have to stand the line and believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself too, where nobody else believes in you, man.
Absolutely.
You know, because the world around you, they don't know crap. Absolutely. They don't know business. They'll sell themselves out for nothing. They'll sell their souls for pennies on a dollar. Pennies on a dollar.
You're right.
You know? So you can't listen to the naysayers, and you can't listen to the ones that are hating you. I'm glad you're toting the line, brother, so I want to help you with that.
Yeah,
I want to help you with that.
But
then not only that, we got God on our side, man.
Absolutely.
You know, so we're rocking and rolling.
You're absolutely right about that. You know, and I have the same story. I mean, they're trying to get me to sell out, but I refused. I held on, you know what I mean? And so finally, when I said no to the $5 million, and when she asked what my total loss and all that, and I said I wasn't going for it, you know, what your total gain is. Well, that's not the way it works. No, that's the way it's going to work. Right then at that point in time, my mind was made up. You guys are going to start changing. It starts right now with me. I'm not selling out, and I have family members, you know, respectfully, I say, they were upset. You should have took the money. I did not. And so when I denied, and I reclined from that offer, then Universal, they said, their attorney said, well, so you want to hands on the franchise? I said, you're absolutely correct. I said, man, this is my family history. My dad, that's what his hands. No, and I'll share something, like I said, we have God on our side. We're right. I'll share something. My dad was a kid. He was with my grandfather, and they were in the woods. And my dad said he was just standing there looking up. He said, Daddy, money, Daddy, money. Grandfather looked over the ground. Where you see some money? Where you see some money? Then you don't see it, Daddy. I know how to spell money. M-O-N-E-Y. Where, son? He looked on the ground. He said, no, Dad, up there. Dad, you see them 2 trees? Yeah, son. He said, right there, Dad. It says M-O-N-E-Y. It was horizontal, the horizontal. He said M-O-N-E-Y, and he said it says it on that tree, and M-O-N-E-Y on that tree. And grandfather, he was just dumbfounded. He scratched his head, son, I don't know what's going on. And I remember praying to God, Father God, whatever that is my daddy's son, can that money, I'm the eldest, I'm the next of kin. Can I have that money? I'm sure whatever that money is, I know Daddy would take care of his family with it. You know, he was a hard worker. You know, I mean, auto mechanics, tow truck service business, things like that, you know. And then it hit me one day. Dad saw something. Well, he saw the spiritual realm. My grandfather had said, but God showed that to my dad. And now look at this, you know, all I did was simply wrote my dad's story. His life history, my family, even my mother and dad's, their dating history, their different things that happened in street racing. And now that's when they hit me right. This is it right here. So there's no way I would have sold out on that. At the time, they offered me $500,000. It was worth around about $1 billion. Now, probably could be anything between 15 and 20 billion.
The franchise.
The franchise. And so, I mean, I'm offended. I mean, you have the lead actors, you know, and people know what it is. You know, they're coming up like they're based up a franchise and got the nerve to want to fight other actors on the set because they think they're the main one. I'm like, dude, you fighting with something not even yours, bro. You know what I mean? While all that's going on, there's come a day, it's just a matter of time for God to put the poses in place.
That's right. That's right.
But no, I really feel deep down in my heart that it's spiritual, and that it was God given, man. That we were to meet. You know what I mean?
You know what? And I said that also. Now, is there a way that the people in this community, Facebook community, can reach out and touch you?
Absolutely. Contact me by way of my email, Raw Multimedia. Also, you can Google or YouTube Ray Williams or Ray Anthony Williams, The Fast and the Furious, and all my information will come up. I do have a YouTube channel, Raw Pro Live, and you'll see me and like, share, comment, leave it all. And again, anyone that's interested in speaking with me like yourself, I have all proof documentation. I have right here copyright. I mean, I'll be more than happy to sit down and show the people, because of course they're the doctors. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, right, whatever. He didn't. No. I just showed the proof documentation. So word for word, verbatim, the directorial aspect, the plot, plot structure, the dialogue. This is my work. And I share something else. Not just the Fast and Furious. But I've done a little research with the writers, those who are part of the Fast and Furious franchise. I looked up other works. They're my works. Now, I didn't show you that.
Next issue.
Next issue. But what it is that these same people involved with the Fast and Furious franchise went on to do other work, still using my material.
Okay.
So I'll just say this: if anyone came to you and they said, "Hey, I was a part of the Fast and the Furious," immediately you need to contact the writers and ask them, "Where did you get this work?" That's all I'm gonna say.
Folks, Ray Williams, right?
Ray Anthony Williams,
a man on a mission. And you got the story here on Gotcha Racing TV for Facebook fans, and we're gonna hang tight with you, man, and see how far we can take this, and see if you can get your just due.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay. Hey, folks, this is Joe Britt. We're in one of the hidden garages in Southern California, and Joe Britt, and we're gonna bid you farewell. Take care. See you on the other side. Joe Britt, Gotcha Racing TV, and we're out.